go. Right, well, I think we're live. Welcome, everyone. Those of you who either are watching or will watch, you're back with the Thursday Nighters. We've got a better name on the. What do we call ourselves? Something much more impressive. It was the legendary Thursday Game Fest. So that's what we. Honestly, it just appeared out of nowhere. Anyway, you viewer, you are now part of our legendary Thursday Game Fest. We're going to be playing some more Age of Arthur. Those of you who are vigilant will note that the title of this particular episode is called Curse of the Past. So we have moved on from our story of through lonely lands, through dangerous lands. Joining us in our little cohort, you can see in between myself and Marcel, is Gwennifer. Gwennifer was escorted, who is the daughter of Agricola, who is the king of Urba Legionis, which is Deva, I think it is, at Chester. Chester in the United Kingdom, that's where we are at the moment. It's 475. It's a bit like Glorantha. You've got to know what date it is. And Gwennifer was escorted down, and after some shenanigans, which if you want to have a look at those shenanigans, it's the last few episodes, she married, or is going to marry, or I think has married, probably by now she will have married, the king of Caerleon, or the new king of Caerleon, after some, well, yes.
We don't know what you're talking about.
No, absolutely not. No, it wasn't me, Gov. I wasn't involved. So, back at Urba Legionis, we are, but not for long, because Agricola has suggested that there are problems just out in the east of his relatively small holding. You've got to remember the Romans have now gone. This is post-Roman Britain. And yet Rome and the effects of Rome and the memories and echoes of Rome are still very much here. And Urba Legionis, major civitas of the Romans, Agricola cleaves very much to the Roman tradition still. The roads are still being used. Okay, there isn't the currency. But what we've found is that lords, typically lords, either found in large villas, old civitas, perhaps some of the fortifications, have taken power and are trying to grow their holdings as much as they can, often fighting against neighbouring lords who have come through. But very much this is a continuation of people giving a tenth to a particular higher power that will help look after them and that's kind of how it is. So Agricola has got a small holding around Chester. Let's flip to the map very, very briefly. I'll just say goodbye to poor old Gwennifer. See what comes of her.
That's a shame.
It is a shame. Excuse me. So, this is just where we left it, really. Here are our heroes: Decius Drusus, Kasnar ap Cartival, and Blethin Apmed. And we are currently at Urba Legionis. Now, you have been asked to head off east along the Roman road. You can see the road there, actually, from Urba Legionis up to, well, eventually it does come up to Mancunium. That's certainly beyond Agricola's control. That's very much into the larger realm of Reged to the north, a Brythonic kingdom, which is quite large and quite powerful. But not far from Urba Legionis is Condate. Now, Condate is a small fort with a nearby settlement, and it's very important to Agricola because of the salt production. And so he gets a cut, effectively, of that salt production, and that makes it that's pretty important to him. So, you've been asked to head that way. There is talk of uncovered curses and the disappearance of villagers in the small village, which is quite close to Condate. And it will take you along what's called the King's Way from Urbe Legionis, which heads east and actually also south, although that's not shown on this map. And so when you're ready, which will be in the morning, your journey is 20 Roman miles. I should have looked up the difference. I think they're slightly longer than a British mile, an imperial mile. But it's basically much of a day to get there. And you'll be heading along one of the roads. It should be relatively safe compared to heading through Powys, because this is all within Agricola's lands. But there we are. Anyway, I'll leave that with that thought with you. So that's my introduction for the session. Let's just go around. We'll go anti-clockwise because I feel that way out today, to be honest. So Ingolf, you want to introduce yourself and perhaps just say something about your character?
Yeah, so I'm Ingolf. I'm playing Kasna Ab Cartival, who is he's an ambassador. He's a kind of a bard. He is very flashy and he talks very much. And he likes to play some games of power, it seems, where he wants to move and shake like the others do, without being a king. So he does this for his king, whose name is Agricola.
Yeah, and he's having a good time of it, I think. James, if you want to tell us a bit about Decius Drusus.
Yes, Decius Drusus, a career soldier and general, and a man short for his words, but good with his gladius and scutum. So that's Decius.
Decius, thank you. And Marcel, if you want to tell us about Blethin Ap Med.
Yeah, Lefin is a young man still trying to find his place in this world, and coincidentally, he's also a werewolf.
Yeah, just so happens. Right, so is that you are given an opportunity to spend a little bit of time getting supplies together before it's only a short journey. Fresh horses, should you wish to use them. It will take you about a day on the road to get out to the far east of Agricola's control. Is there anything that you particularly want to note that you're doing before you set off to Condate? Or is it just a case of going?
So Decius, what do we expect there?
Salt?
Well, I was hoping for a little bit more information, to be honest.
No idea. Never been there, my old son.
Oh, that's
you could make me a check just to see what you know about Condate. Seems like a reasonable thing to do. I would allow. Well, you can tell me what you think, but I would say something like law might be the thing to do.
Yeah, let's do that.
See what you know about Condate.
Really no interest in salt.
No, do you know what? You don't even like it on your food, probably, with that roll. You don't need it. You're told it's not good for your blood pressure.
No. So I think I will tell you something about.
Yeah, you will.
It then. So just
Condate, is a small roadside fort. that is also sometimes known as Caer Imil i'r Forth, which just means roadside fort. It's not really a very exciting name, but it is also known as I say, it's also known as Condate. And yeah, it's a small fort. It's probably got no more than a dozen or maybe a bit more in terms of soldiers that are there that are loyal to Agricola. You will know that the fort is commanded by someone called Vasu ab Kasnar.
You can't trust those Kasnars.
You cannot. And let me just put him out there. There he is. So he's commanded, and you can see he's actually on his shield. He has the Cairo on his shield.
So he's Christian,
signifying that he's almost certainly Christian, as many are in Agricola's neck of the woods. Vasu is skilled, but the talk is. I mean, you can judge him for yourself. He's regarded as a skilled but not exceptional commander, who is out in the sticks, out on a trade route up to Mancunium, and there aren't really borders these days. There aren't really borders. It's all rather fluid about who has control and where does your tithes go to. But this is right on the edge. So he's been placed right on the edge, or he's found himself right on the edge. Somehow he's got a message through to say that he's got problems. Hence you've been. So it's a small. There's also a small settlement called. In fact, there's a villa nearby called Bryn Goron. It's called that now, anyway. So there was a villa intact, and there's a settlement literally right next to the villa. And that's probably what you know. And it's, as I say, there's quite a lot of salt production in this part.
So did he somehow in his note that he has some troubles mention what kind of troubles?
Yes, he mentioned that a curse has been found.
A curse?
He believes a curse has been found, uncovered.
Oh, yes. Okay, so someone or something is cursed. Okay.
Yeah, and he thinks that's why people are disappearing.
Okay.
And he needs people to come and investigate this. That was about a week ago.
Do we have? I mean, I'm. If I understand Kasna well enough, then he basically is not so much into this druidic stuff. So he does not really get. Well, probably he knows people, but he does not know the lore so well, I suppose.
Probably. He knows the stories. He knows the legends. He knows the heroic tales a bit better than the process.
But I was just thinking that probably we need someone with a little bit of understanding of the old ways, as they say around here. Someone maybe we could convince someone local to have something, because as far as I know, there are no Christian curses.
No.
Or at least it seems like their god is somehow weaker in that respect.
The Eastern Lamb god. Yeah. It's not quite. Although you heard some of the stories, it seems quite vengeful as well.
Yeah. So that might be true, but then again, these kind of simple curses, that's someone else's business. So, are there some of the old, I don't know,
Yeah.
some practitioners I know in Urban Legionis? We could find someone or just hire someone to.
Well, let's see how you do. I mean, could you make me? I'm not sure what you have. Let's take a little look at your character. So
I could have some insight in that, but I don't know if that's the right skill.
Insight might be quite good. That you you get an understanding of what's going on in Urba Legionis and the surrounding area. You might be able to find somebody. Let's see how you do with an insight check.
Yeah,
I'm looking for only a 9 actually.
And you got
That's
it
easily, and that's a difficult. So that's a 13 on a 9. So you beat it by 4. It's not quite a special result, but it's pretty good. There is somebody. Sorry, I'm just showing you the main gate that you'll be heading out of.
Yeah.
But let me just take that away for a second. There is somebody who you think might be helpful to you. If I can find him. Here he is. There's somebody who cleaves to the druidic traditions. A man called Kylin, and Kylin is known to you, and the druids are making something of a resurgence at these times now that the Romans have departed. Let me just place Kylin in amongst you.
Yeah, he looks trustworthy, I suppose. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't say he was trustworthy. I said he knew the old ways. Here he is. Yes. So you have a problem, Kaznar, and you need the old ways, the old gods to help you.
I suppose that might be the case. It seems that one of our, let me call him Christian commanders, is talking about some kind of a curse and something about the old things that keep haunting or so on, and you know how it is with the believers, that sometimes they misinterpret the signs of nature and the old ways as curses or something else.
Kaznar, they don't understand. They just do not understand. I can help you there. Where are you heading?
We are heading Kandate, yeah.
Kandate. So, yes, I know the commander there.
You know him, really?
I do.
Yeah,
I do. Vasu.
Yeah,
He's a Christian man.
Yeah.
He needs to see and change his ways. I will go and help him do that, and maybe help you on the way as well. We shall see.
Yeah, let's all go there, and don't rush. I mean, he's a capable man, but sometimes even the capable men have to learn a trick or two.
So let me just pull up. I don't have his details on the system, but I do have them here. So yes, you will know that Kylin is a relatively powerful druid, and he, despite how he looks, he's trustworthy in his own way. He's somewhat mercurial, though.
I mean, trustworthy in its own way is something you could say about the least trustworthy person.
Correct. Correct. He must be around here somewhere. I'll find him. So you head off, and it's not the 3 of you; it's the 4 of you, because Kylin is coming with you, and you head to you head along the road, and it's now, as you know, because it was sort of heading towards sort of autumn, I think. So we're now heading into almost the winter month. The winter months. It is now cold. there is a frost on the ground as you head out of the gates of Urba Legionis, and you head east along the old Roman road, which is still maintained at this part. And as you head off, you have a relatively quiet journey for much of the time. Several hours in, it's the height of the day, it's noon, and you can see a wagon coming the other way, and it's quite sizable. It's a four-wheeled one with two horses pulling it, and it's heading down the main road, heading towards you. It's heading slowly, so it doesn't look particularly threatening to you, but these are strange times, so you need to be a little bit careful. What do you wish to do? It's heading sort of inexorably towards you. They must have seen you as much as you have seen them.
Do we want to have to chat? Do we? I think it's most appropriate. I mean, if there was not much people around, then we would just maybe stop them and have a short talk.
Yeah.
We should. Yeah. I think isn't that the local politeness? You would have to exchange a few words.
Yeah. I think as the wagon gets closer, you see that there is one person in a sort of a cowled woolen cloak, wrapped tightly around their form. Their face sort of covered and darkened, so you can't make them out. Who is guiding the horses along, and then coming out of the wagon on the sides at the back are two individuals with bows, and the bows are out and strung. They're a sort of a slightly recurved short bow, and as you get closer, I mean they've just sort of gently locked an arrow into
Yeah, I understand. They're careful. Yeah. So greetings.
The cowl comes back, and it's a woman.
Oh.
And she says, "Greetings, friends on the road. You're heading east."
Yes. We are going for Candate. I'm having to meet someone there. Yeah.
Then I am from Condate. Or at least I've travelled from Condate.
Oh, that is interesting. That is very interesting. We come from Urba Legionis. Let me introduce myself. I'm Kasna ab Cartivel, and these are my companions, the famous Decius Drusus, Blessin ab Met, and this is our new companion, Kalin, whose name I maybe he is just only Kalin.
I have heard of you, Kazna, by reputation. Well, I wish you well on your journey. You go to a place that is in some difficulty.
Yeah, I just, when you come from there, I heard that word reached us that the people are upset a little bit in Candate.
There are people who have been, the 6 children have disappeared in the village.
Children, so I was
6 of them. Kind of all of a sudden. As if the gods themselves have taken them away.
I'm exchanging glances with Kalin because I don't think that the gods themselves took someone, but yeah.
He sort of looks a bit might have done.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm not so sure. We will find out. But what is your business in Urba Legionis? I think that's where you're heading.
Trade.
So what are you trading? Salt, I believe.
It is salt.
Ha.
It is salt, and she has actually the salt is carried in large pots.
Yeah.
I am taking salt.
Yeah, I think salt is much underrated. I hear.
Much prized.
Yeah.
And there's good money to be made in salt.
So,
Makes everything too salty.
yeah. But I wonder how common is it that they would be. I mean, the mines would belong to the king, wouldn't they? These are private mines.
No, they're sort of they belong to local lords.
Oh. So she's a local lady, maybe, or something like that.
I'm just a trader. My name is Ellen. I'm just a trader. You can see her guards, if that's what they are just sort of just keeping a sort of a slightly tense watch, but not too tense. They're just keeping an eye on you.
And just look at Blethen, whether he shows some signs of suspiciousness. Whether something disturbs you or smells funny or so. And if you don't say anything, I would just move on. But
Blethen, if you wish to make an awareness check, then feel free. Let's have a look at Blethen. How is he doing? It's not really one of your things, is it, Blethen? Oh, it's notice. It's not called awareness anyway. I don't know my own game. It's notice these days. It used to be called awareness, I think.
Yeah, I think he's gone.
Okay, well, in which case, don't worry about it. It's a bit fishy, salty.
I think you're muted.
Sorry, I could not hear you when I was about to write.
That's okay. If Blethen would like to make a notice check, if you can remember how to do it, it's because of going to your character sheet on the left and doing that stuff. There you go. Let's have a look. Okay, it's an 8. So it's you sort of Blethen you sort of sniff the air a little bit, and there's nothing especially untoward. There's no whiff of something extra that you wouldn't expect. It seems as you might expect. It seems safe as far as you can say. And she just sort of thanks you and says, "Well,
have safe travels."
And safe travels to you, and try not to disappear.
Yeah. So I don't think that's possible. I don't. It's just.
He's no spring chicken.
Well, you arrive at your destination without any too many problems, but it is very much at the end of the day. It's dark when you arrive. You've decided to push on to try and get there because there's the prospect of some kind of warm bed, I suppose, just to keep you going. And Vasu does greet you, and what you find is a slightly sort of sad-timed Roman roadside fort, stone construction, not very big at all. Almost like it's almost the size, it's a little bit bigger, but it's almost the size of one of the if you can imagine one of the mile forts on Hadrian's Wall. So it's quite a smallish sort of roadside constructed walls with a main gate, and inside he's got a hall and stables and another sort of barrack house on the end, which is where most of his guards will be housed. But that's it. It's quite small.
So it's kind of an outpost just to get horses to the next bigger fort, something like that.
Very much so. Yeah, very much so. But greetings to you and thanks for coming. But things have changed since the messages came out. Yes.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it's true. It's true. I mean, certainly we were concerned about this curse that had been uncovered. And indeed, some of the local villagers have got missing children. But there are Saxons here now. They have arrived. They came in only literally several weeks ago. Saxon raiders, somewhere off to the east. We haven't tracked them down yet. That's my main concern.
As far as I know, and please just enlighten me otherwise, because I'm just, I'm just ambassador to the king and somehow a counselor to the king. But just enlighten me then. As far as I know, the Saxons are not so much in the business of stealing kids. More like being, conquering stuff.
I don't know. I think their gods eat them, don't they?
I resist my normal urge to say that Christians are supposed to eat don't they have this feast
we're
where they
eaten
eat
by
themselves, something like that?
Well, I don't know their ways. I mean, they've got strange ways, and they have foreign gods. They have gods that are not our gods. They don't belong in this land. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's
And so,
that's
do they take them for blood? I don't know. I don't know.
so just I don't want to derail this, but aren't there the Roman troops were mostly Germans or Germanic tribes, weren't they?
Some.
So it's don't the Saxons have the old Germanic kind of gods?
They do.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Okay. So just probably, but nevertheless. So
the Saxons were well known to the Britons well before Rome left.
Yes. I understand, but no, but I'm talking to him again.
Yeah.
So you know how the king feels about his subjects, especially children being taken. He is kind of a little bit upset about that if that happens without his knowing. So probably we need to look into that, even though you don't think it's so important right now.
So, of course, if you think that's the right thing to do, that's Agricola sent you on in good faith. So I should. But anyway, he furnishes you with sort of warm wine and food, and you will have sort of a small corner in his hall to have rest. But I will show you this tablet. You need to see it.
Okay.
And he produces a cursed tablet, which is frequently found in Roman places. This was uncovered recently in the ruined villa.
So this is a Latin curse, then?
Oh, yes, it is. Bringoron. And the tablet says, well, it's actually, it says, Caius Laurentius, take one stone from my great house, and Maca will take in return. And the villagers think that this curse is playing out in their village, and Maca has taken children to relive and bring life to this cursed tablet. Now, I will, if you want to make sort of, before Kylan steps in, if you'd all like to make sort of lore tests, if you have them, just to see what you know about Maca or Matcha.
Matcha. Huh. Interesting.
So,
it's the 9.
it's all right. Yeah, you're all sort of. Let's. Kylan. It's going to be a 3. Let's just see what Kylan also works out. You've got enough to know certainly who Maca is. Let's just make a roll to see what I get. Okay, so Kylan knows a little bit because of his druidic nature, but you have all heard of her. Matcha is one of the Morrigan.
Oh.
And the Morrigan is a triple goddess, sort of Hibernian origin originally, but she's mainly seen as a goddess of death and violence. One form is sort of Bab, the raven. She represents war and slaughter. Nice. Matcha is the wolf, and she represents vengeance. And then the final aspect is Nemain, and she represents magic and prophecy. So that's who has been invoked in this curse tablet, taken from this villa out on the hill, literally only a mile to the north, where there is also a settlement. The small village in which the children were taken is quite unprepossessing. There's just several. There's a couple of hundred people who live in these roundhouses just by the villa. So, yeah.
Yeah, this is interesting. So I don't know if the other ones want to say anything. So I guess you all know about that, or if not, then I would say that Kaylin would just tell us something about it, so we all know.
Yeah. You say, yeah. I mean, it's a curse tablet though. It's a Roman curse tablet, calling on one of our old gods.
Yeah, and that is
It's strange.
Well, it's not that strange because we know that the Romans adapted and used our gods as well.
They did, but they didn't do it very well.
Yeah. So were there any? I mean, maybe we should talk to the people in the village, and get some answers from them, and maybe try to find the children, because they may very well be alive.
Well, they disappeared without trace, I'm told. No bloodshed, no sign of a struggle. They may well be.
That makes it even more possible that they are alive.
Indeed, it could be. I mean, I suppose I would agree with you. It probably is important to do that. I've just got other things to do. I've got scouts going out trying to find these Saxons. I'm a busy man.
Yeah, it seems. I guess. I mean, I guess it's so late in the evening that we have to stay because.
It is. I suggest you go in the morning.
Yes. That's,
so it is that you're
yeah.
rested. You're rested here, and you have a warm. At least there's a fire. It's warm.
Yeah. Just a totally unrelated question. Just because we came from the south where they had problems with that. Did you have any signs of wolves around here?
There are wolves. I mean,
yes, there are wolves. I know, but
no,
and unusually many, or something like that, like a big wolf.
Not really.
I think no, really.
Never
not.
trust a wolf. Never trust a wolf.
I would say if the wolf is docile enough, I would trust the wolf.
Yeah,
Very
well,
good.
for us, it's probably good news for us. Bless it.
You know what they say. The only one who can trust the wolf is the pack.
Yeah.
Well, so
So I understand I'm nosy and I'm keeping you from business, but then again, so how many of these Saxons, you say Saxon raiders? Is there an army advancing? Have you spotted them one time or something like that? So
No,
I don't
no.
I don't really understand how big the danger is. That's
well, neither do we. But we know there are Saxons in the area. We've lost 2 men in a brief skirmish where we encountered them. It's out in the lands, out in the rough lands to the east of here. So I don't know their numbers, and that's what's worrying me. And in fact, what's worrying me is that they are so far west. I hadn't expected to see any Saxon war bands. Well,
This-
it depends.
You said, yeah. You just because I mean I don't believe in coincidences usually. So these Saxons, you said this villa is somehow uninhabited.
The villa is uninhabited. It's been abandoned for quite some time now.
And have your people checked whether there's someone settled there? Maybe a band of Saxons.
I suppose it's possible, but I mean it's right next to it's right next to the settlement, so I think we would have heard if they were there. I can take men to scout the area. We have been around the settlement, obviously, but not seen.
I mean, we
haven't
will
seen
go
sign.
there in the morning. So maybe if just two of your men can I don't know, accompany us, so that we make a troop of 6, that would be some force. You wouldn't try to attack out of poor I don't know, poor taste.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
So then, thank you again for your time, and keep on doing the king's mission. That's he's very proud of you.
Of course. Yeah. Whatever. So he does go about his business. Impoverished noble, oath to lord, rose through the ranks. My future paths are limited.
Oh, come on! I mean, if we get this one, he will.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
So the morning comes, and it's a fresh, bright morning. It's a frost, but it's bright, and you head off to the village. And the village is, as I say, it's a dozen or more roundhouses, and you are greeted in the village by somebody who seems to be in charge. You're brought in to one of the roundhouses, and you meet this person here. Yes. Who was the Lord decided? Oh gosh, I think her eyes turned to Decius, actually, probably rather than Blethyn or Casnar. Sorry, Casnar. And she sort of notes the sort of military regalia and says, "Well, it's about time. It's about time. We've lost 6 children, and nothing has happened. Disappeared, taken away in the night. We give. So come on,
Yeah.
sort it out."
Not the Saxons then?
Saxons? We haven't seen any Saxons. We'd know about it if we saw Saxons. I've heard stories of the Saxons, of course, but not round here. That's all over. It's all over the other way, over the mountains.
So just by the looks, she looks like they still believe in the old gods. They're not so Christian, I suppose, in this village.
You see very little sign here of any Christian regalia or iconography. It's nothing like that. So you think probably they're not Christian here.
I'm wondering why she addresses Decius and not Kalen, who's obviously a druid. So
Well, she's sort of addressing all of you, but her eyes did go to Decius and not Caleb.
So we are here to figure this out.
Well, you see what you can do. But
Yeah, but can you tell me? So, did the children, were they taken at night from their homes? Were they outside?
no, there was at night. We woke to find that their beds were empty.
Okay, so
And they were taken from 4 of our roundhouses, not 1.
Is it possible that the children snuck out and were convinced to go somewhere?
Possibly.
Okay.
It's possible, I suppose. But it'd be most unlike them. And we've never had anything like this before.
Sometimes the creature is so there's the fays have sometimes ways to motivate you to leave the house.
Well, possibly.
Possibly.
So there's been nothing else strange that you've noticed during the day or anything like that?
No, I don't think so.
So
Nothing that we could equate to why this has happened.
And how did it come to place that Vasnu was shown the tablet from the villa? So I guess someone of your people found it in the villa, or
Yes, that's right.
so you already looked at in the villa for them.
Well, we have gone into the villa from time to time. It's empty.
Okay, so do you know if someone took something out of the villa?
No, sometimes things are taken out of the villa. There is a small fort to the north, and the leader there has brought people down, and they've taken stone from the villa.
So the fort in the north. So this is Vasnu Abkasna who took the stones.
No, this is.
So this is a different fort.
Yeah,
No,
it's
not this
further
fort.
north. It's
Oh,
on
yeah,
the
yeah.
way to that great big Mancunium up in the north.
Oh,
It's not
I
that
see.
one. It's a bit further north.
Yeah, I see. I see.
It's the North Road.
Okay, I see.
They came south. They've been south and taken stone. And why wouldn't you? I mean, it's good stone. And as you look, her hearth has fine stone work in amongst the wood and the thatch of her ground
I
house.
see. Yeah, I agree. If the house is empty and the stones can be put to good use, then that is very likely something you should do. Yes.
They've gone now, so we do what we can.
Have you heard anything about wolves, unusual wolf activity in this area?
Yes, there have been wolves actually. There's a pack operating nearby,
Oh,
just to the north.
okay. And where's the villa is south, west, east, so far?
You can literally see the villa. The villa is on the crown of a hill,
Okay,
just
so,
above the settlement. It's literally just a short walk
Okay.
away.
So can you give us the person who found the table, the tablet, that we could he could or she could show us where she found it exactly?
Yeah. So one of the villagers does indeed step forward, or she is brought to you. His name is Aku. And Aku says, "Yeah, I can take you there. We were just collecting some firewood, and we went into the villa, and we spent a bit longer there than usual, and we went to this place, and he actually takes you up to the villa.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
And as you go up, could you all make me notice tests, please, just to see what you can see? Notice or wilderness, whichever you prefer.
So there's a skill called wilderness. I don't believe that.
Oh,
Oh my, it's me. Mind you did roll 4 dice, which is
exactly.
Yeah, I
So
did.
let's try that one again.
Just take the highest two.
yeah, exactly. That's pretty good, Blethyn. Yeah, I think Blethyn. It kind of makes sense that Blethyn would search. Blethyn, you see. Well, in fact, let me just make a roll also for Helen. Blethin, you see wolf tracks heading north. Kylin will point out to you that in addition to the wolf tracks, there are no sort of prints of people that have seemed to have crept into the village or anything like that. You can't see that, but there are wolf tracks that were quite close to the village. As you're heading out to the villa, between the villa and the settlement, there are wolf tracks which head off, kind of off to the east. But Kylin will say, it's a little bit unusual. There are flowers. Look at the flowers here. And as he points them to you, you spot that there are flowers kind of running up to the edge of the village and then heading off. And as you sort of take a sort of side look at it, he says, look, see, the flowers, they're fresh. It's the wrong time for them. Look, you can see marigold, you can see poppy, you can see yarrow.
Yeah.
They've sprung up.
So these are flowers that are grown from the ground, or this is
From the ground.
Okay, so someone of your order maybe.
It's a trail, and that's very unusual. And Blethin, Blethin, you've seen the wolf tracks which head off in a different direction. They head off east. This trail heads off. This flower trail heads off to the north. But you get just a sense, Blethin, and you can't help yourself. It's sort of just, you can feel your wolf form sort of burgeoning slightly as you not just looking at the wolf tracks, which is more natural, but there's something that seems to be calling your inner spirit when you look at the flowers.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Is it
So,
okay? No, it's okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do? You got kind of two. You sort of got two trails. You've got a villa.
I think we need to go to the villa first, and then we should follow the flowers, not the wolves. This is just a hunch.
Okay. I mean, the villa itself was once an extensive, wealthy property, just as many of the villas were. It was the noble houses of the time, I suppose. Great projections of power, but not great as in terms of sort of social gatherings or places that could be kept warm very easily for most people.
So do we? I mean, I think that some of the stones have been taken and so on.
They have.
But do we still see symbols like something that would relate this to the Morrigan or the?
Oh, I see. Well, you look round, and there are still frescoes on the floor. There is still some of the fine paint that lights up the villa, but many of the roof tiles have gone now. But you don't see anything much until you get into one of the inner chambers. And in the inner chambers, on the floor, there is actually a fresco of two wolves. They are in amongst people, so there are two people sort of not patting them as if they're pets, but standing by them as if they are almost family.
I see.
How very Roman.
Yeah. Well, it is actually. Yeah.
Cave lupem, I was told.
Yeah.
But I see. So, and this was around here. You found the tablet. I would ask I don't know, Oko or whatever the name was.
Uku says, "Yeah, I found the tablet here."
Interesting. Very, very interesting. Did you by chance have any kind of events or something where you saw wolves in the last few days?
There are wolves nearby, but no, not especially. No.
No sightings. Okay, so then if you want to, you can go back to the village and say we will investigate
Thank
further.
Thank you. And he sort of he scuttles off, heads back down the hill, down to his village.
So are we taking the flower path then?
Yeah, let's take the flower path.
Yeah.
Lethin, you lead off.
Well, Blethyn, you follow the flower trail. And it heads off to the north.
Yeah.
Go on. Sorry.
No, I was just thinking, isn't that the thing where these rituals of the thing, wasn't that called the flower path as well? Where you were killed at the end. But maybe this is a totally different flower path.
It might be. It's not difficult to follow the trail of marigolds, poppies, and yarrow. It does seem to form a consistent trail, and it takes you up to a place called Hen Coedwig, or sort of like one of the old forests, and the flowers take you into the forest itself. You sort of leave any sign of trail or any sign of worked land, and you head into one of the old forests. It's not a worked forest. It's one of the old ones that's been left. And it becomes quite dark quite quickly and quite cold. And in fact, before long, although you can still follow the flower trail, the brightness of their colour just keeps you. And for you, Blethyn, the scent of them is strong. You can really feel the scent. So following the trail is no problem at all. This consistent trail. But even as you look, a mist arises from you, a cold mist within the forest. And I'd like you all to make willpower composure tests, please, as you head into the mist. The tendrils of the mist seem to almost sort of wrap themselves around you. You have all your fate points are back. I'm going to be making a tendrils of horror attack test. I don't think they are tendrils of horror, but certainly they are unnerving, and the mist seems to have an attraction to you and the warmth within you. And Kaelin will say, "Take care. This is not right." And please note, I'm planning a fate. I'm going to re-roll that. That's just complete rubbish. I've got 3 fate points. I've just spent one on this scene. Let's have that again. It's more like
15. So you beat all of us.
I did.
I'll use one of my fate points then to get a +2. Cold and rational in all things.
Yes.
I'm not going to let this worry me.
It's just mist. It's just natural mist.
Let me do that then.
Let's
I
have a look
need
and
to
see what we've
change
got
that
there.
to a
So what were you on?
2. I will.
Was that
There we go.
Well, the mist curls around and leaves you. Kasnar, take 3 composure stress damage.
3. That's,
Yeah.
yeah. That's
If you can.
yeah. I can.
All right. I'm just wondering. Blethyn, what did you? I can't actually see your result, Blethyn, on your willpower test.
I have not rolled yet because I'm still looking at
Debating. All right. It's calling to
I
you.
think Can I use that I gave Decius my oath to control myself as to empower me?
And yes, you can. And why would it do that? Why would it empower you?
It's gonna help me to suppress the more animalistic urges now to just
Right. Yeah, you can do that actually. Interestingly, you can call it. You can call on that aspect. So spend a fate point, which will give you a +2 to your result.
Okay. Well then, let's see how this goes. Oh gosh.
Oh, you can also spend a fate point to re-roll, which I would suggest you do on a double one, which is a fumble.
Yes.
If you can, I don't know. Perhaps you've got a rule where you can't re-roll double ones, might do. But I'm going to give you a fate point to re-roll if you want.
No, I had 4 and now I'm down to 2.
Okay.
So if I try that again, that's
Yeah,
like it.
that's more like it. So that's with that. That is, I think, is that without your aspect?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
without.
it is. So you can get a tie if you want to call on your aspects and spend another fate point, or you can take 2 composure damage.
I'll spend 1 more to avoid that.
Okay, all right. Okay, so you don't lose any composure. It's just Kaznar that's unnerved. In fact, I will just see what happens to Kylan. I should do that. He's muttering something in a language you don't quite recognize, and he is, yeah, he's saying there is something amiss here. This mist is called by some other power. It may be one of the old gods themselves. And as he says that, you stumble, Blethin and friends, into a clearing. And in the clearing, you can see the flowers heading towards a center point in the clearing. And around that center point, there is a ring of flowers. But as you get there, you see that the yarrow, the poppies, and so on are dead. They're withered in a circle. Mm-hmm. And in this circle, there are some standing stones. And on the top of the standing stones, on the top of this hill, you can see a branch, and a branch is pulled out of the center of the ground, and the branch is like a branch shaped almost like a claw. Mm-hmm. The mists do not follow you into the clearing. They keep a respectful distance. What you can do, though, is make me notice tests when you're up there.
Couldn't we just talk a little bit now? Because, I mean, we could notice as well. Yeah, we can notice, but we want to talk. Yeah.
Talk.
So, but we can roll the notice roll. I mean, come on. But before something happens, we want to. So, Kaylin, is this? Are we still in the normal lands, or is this realm of the Fae?
I think we're in the realm of the Fae.
I've guessed that.
We've already, I think, travelled beyond and in between.
Yeah, it felt like it. It felt like it.
However, in a much more pedestrian sense, both Decius and Blethin also notice much more pedestrian, literally, footprints heading up to the top of this. Let's call it a shrine.
Mm-hmm. Let's guess, lots of children footprints.
Sadly not. These are booted people. You'd say about a dozen different feet heading from the east. So coming from a different route, have found their way into the clearing. You can follow a trail that goes up to the top of this shrine. There's a lot of footprints still in this, almost preserved by the frost. Actually, clearly they've been here a while.
Yeah, could we just? I mean, we could maybe say these are footprints from, I don't know, from shoes like soldiers would have, or is this more like normal, like people from a village or something like what? Could we get this? I mean, he rolled a 15.
So yes, you could. So Decius,
Yeah.
on your humongous roll, you would know that these are probably sort of just heavy boots of warriors. These aren't just. These are quite sort of. These are quite heavily shod, in places maybe even shod boots.
Do we know if the Saxons also know the old gods?
Yeah, they've got. I mean, they do have their own gods.
Yeah, sometimes.
But you know, it's depending how long they've been here, they may be respectful to the gods that are of this isle. But yeah.
Okay, so then let's go.
So there's something else you find. The flower trail you find continues, but to the north. So whereas the footprints are heavy up here, they head off to the east. And it looks to you, well, particularly you, Decius, that you can see that this group came up to the hill, spent some time on the top of the hill, and have now headed back down again. And Kylin would also say, this is a shrine, and I can sense the presence of Sulis here.
And this is?
Sulis is a god of healing. This is her place, I sense, in amongst the Fae.
So, nothing to do with this wolf goddess then?
I see no sign of matcha here.
So, but didn't the people that came here were probably soldiers or warriors. So it might have been even our own troops from the fort, because they said some of their kind were wounded.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes,
they wouldn't probably tell their commander because he is Christian, but
yeah, maybe not. But this is definitely a shrine, a place of healing, I think. And I note that the flowers do not stop here; they carry on, but they die around here.
Yeah. So the flowers. So you mean the flowers are some symbol from some other kind of influence?
Yes.
So the flowers are of matcha, and they don't do well close to this goddess.
Okay, so then let's follow the flowers again.
You can.
Further. So we have two of the soldiers still with us, or didn't they follow us?
As far as I know, they've carried on with you.
Yeah. Okay. So.
But they're quite shook. Yeah. They sort of look at each other. They probably look at Blethyn. They look at each other and think, "Do you really need us? You don't really need us, do you? Can we should probably report back as to what's going on." And then, they sort of look at.
Yeah. Do you know if any of your friends were looking for some I don't know, old gods to help the injured?
No. I mean, no one would go into Hen Coed in the right mind, or at least they wouldn't come back in the right mind.
Oh, interesting. So you know how this place is called?
It's an old forest. There are stories, but I mean.
So we went into the old enchanted forest, and you didn't tell us before.
just followed you.
You will make great advances in the military, I see, and so just keep following us.
Well, if we keep out, well, actually, they look at you there. Well, we're not going anywhere. Well, we'll follow you. Yeah. Can we get out of the forest though? Why do we go back? And
No,
report?
we need to investigate the trail further. Yeah.
Is that really? Do we?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Kaylin, is there something we can do about this kind of magical influence that weighs heavy on the will?
Yeah, they're quite shook. They don't want to.
No, I was talking about to Kaylin, our druid, because he might know something to shield us a little bit more from this kind of thing.
I can create a blessing.
That would be most useful.
We can protect ourselves from the influence of the Fae. It will take a moment just to call that up. And he sort of speaks some words of power. Bloody hell. And yeah, sort of, yeah, that seems to go quite well. And he creates a blessing, which is basically an aspect, which is protected by the old gods, which now sits over you as a protection.
Okay.
But you do follow the flower trail then.
Yes.
And before long, you arrive at a Roman watchtower. It's immaculate. It rises up 3 stories from the forest. There is a banner over the watchtower, which is just simply of a tree. It's a green banner with a white tree on it. And this watchtower is very strong, square.
Yeah.
As I say, 3 stories high. And it's in a clearing. And the trail runs up to the front door of this tower.
Yeah, so let's go there.
Okay. As you head towards the tower and into the clearing, you note that there are emerging out of the sides of the clearing a number of figures, which kind of you recognize very, very quickly. And they're armed with bows. And there are 6 of them. And they have kind of like wooden armor called Rizgel. They call it wood Rizgel, says Kylan. He says, I know these. And in fact, Blethyn, you will probably know that it's like a hard bark-like armor, which has been treated. They have shields of wood, and they have some shimmering type of metal. You're not sure what it is. And one of them stands forward and speaks in very good Brythonic. And here he is. I am Glan Hafinma, and you come to my lady's house. What calls you here?
So I am Kasna Ab Cartival, and I am trying to find a number of missing children from a village nearby.
And you, Roman?
Same. Just trying to retrieve some children. Nothing more.
And you, as he looks over at Blethyn, you, friend, you have come home then.
You must be mistaken. I've never been here before.
Well, you are more welcome here than any of the others. And you, Druid, I see you bring the old gods of Britain with you. They shield you. There's no need for that. I'm sure my lady would be happy to see you. and you can give homage to her. And he sort of signals to the other Fey knights, and they accompany you to the door and take you into this immaculate Roman fortification.
Yeah. Do we have any idea of what the usual etiquette is with the Fae? So would I know? I don't know that I have to, I don't know, wave 3 times or something like that.
I don't think you're particularly strongly advised on it. You've probably heard stories which may or may not be true, but if you speak with kindness and you speak with deference, I'm sure that any noble, they are fickle, so you know that say the wrong thing and that
I heard of, yeah.
Well, so you're brought into the court effectively, and it is a court strewn with flowers, beautiful flowers everywhere, and it doesn't seem right. The sort of Roman stone house, sort of watchtower, wouldn't look like this on the inside. It is strewn with flowers. There are eaves of heavy oak, and the smell of a summer meadow in this particular place. And holding court here is this woman. And she says, I am Lady Tarlelina, and you have come to my place, my tower, pendants of bright raiment, glistening with dew, and you come to see me. Why do you come, mortals and fae?
Apologize our intrusion. We came here to ask for advice and to seek a number of children that have gone missing from a village nearby.
And you'll note that in amongst her court there are bar guests. So large, black, canine dogs. But, much larger than a dog should be. And they sit at either side of her. She sits on a throne of oak. And she says, well, then we can do as we do, and that is bargain. You seek the lives of children. That is very noble. She smiles. I shall say to you that we will help you. And if you return my shrine, we shall find your lost children. How is that? How does that sound to you?
It sounds like a very, very tempting offering. But allow me one and only one question. What would the one is? I have another question as because I'm not sure about the names. So she is not in any way related to this lady of healing we had before. That's a totally different one. Yeah.
Yeah, completely.
Okay, so that's. But my question is, your shrine is where to be found? Because sometimes these tasks are mere impossible for mortals.
So, my shrine is a shrine of healing, on of solace.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
She is a god, and that is a place of great healing for us and a place of restoration for our forest. But the shrine has been stolen. And if you recover my shrine, then we will help you to find your children, which I believe that we can do. Our shrine is made of crystal and was held
in this.
In the hand of Sulis
Yes, I
on
understand.
the shrine.
I understand. So
And she produces as if from nowhere a round seed. And she says, if you find the shrine, you shall eat the seed. And you shall return the shrine to where it should be. And then we will find your children, did you say? Are they your children? Brightly raimented one with such a fast tongue.
So just imagine that we are stubborn and somewhat clumsy humans. We are that we sometimes have to walk instead of using the fast route. So would it be also possible to bring the shrine back to here?
Yes, of course. We would expect that. It should be, you should be able to carry it, especially if you eat the seed.
I see. So then on behalf of myself and my comrades here, I would accept the deal that we bring back the shrine to you and you help us get the children back.
Do you like my watchtower, Roman? She smiles. Do you like it?
Fine Roman engineering. You have good taste, my lady.
Thank you, Roman. And you. And she looks to you, Blethyn. She says, when you return with the shrine, if you wish to stay with us, you are, of course, more than welcome. Think about it. I can take you to interesting places that perhaps your friends would not be able to take you to. Think about it. Don't say now, but think about it. You are especially welcome here. And she'll pass the seed to the brightly raimented, fast-tongued one, as she describes it. You, Castor.
Yeah, that's great. I think I would treat her like with the same courtesy as a king or queen. So I think she is.
Which, of course, you're used to, so you can do that.
Yeah. That's.
You killed the last one. What does that mean?
Not. He was not really a king, and I didn't kill him. So it was someone else. But then again,
you've got no charm, have you?
So yeah, but so
do you wish to leave an impression on her? I mean, if you want to leave an impression on her, then you'd have to give a performance, I suppose.
I could actually.
I wondered if you might. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would do that, and I think, yeah, because I am a bardic ambassador to the King Agricola, I could even use a fate point to get an extra +2 because
you could certainly do that. I mean, do that after the roll. Let's see how well you do.
But yeah, okay. So if you don't want me to do it beforehand.
Generally not, but you can. You can certainly upfront do it if you want to just boost it. And we'll just see how this matches up against her, kind of like her willpower, which is not her resisting it, but it's her sort of how well are you impressing her.
Yeah. So I offer 14 or 16, depending on.
Wow, that's pretty good. Okay, so I think she's gonna have something more like that. Okay, let's have a go. Let's see what we get. Oh, okay. Well,
so I would use a fate point and make it especially thing.
16. Okay, so that puts you to 16 versus 9. That's more than 5. It is a special result. So the court, even the Barghest dogs who have taken particular note of Blethyn, apparently, even they are quiet. And there is a silence to it as you undertake this. What is it? Is it a song? Is it a...
I think it is a song. I think I I would praise the, I mean, her mastery of this, of making this human-made thing into a piece of art we couldn't imagine before, like only she can do. So something like that.
The Fae are entranced by your song, and as your performance comes towards an end, there is the whole room had darkened as you had sung, and only you were lit effectively with a sort of sparkling glow as you sang. So you couldn't make out, but as you finish, it reverts, and you are and warmth and light comes back into the chamber, and there's a murmuring from the court, and she says, "Oh well, perhaps although your Fey friend, of course, is most welcome. You can when you return, sing again, and if you sing well, then that will speed the children to you. Let us see." And she gives you the seed. She gives you the seed.
Yeah, I will do my very best.
Okay. And you are taken from the court, and you follow the trail, the flower trail, back to the clearing, and yeah, you're left there. The mists have completely cleared. There's no mist.
Can we still see the boot traces from the?
You can. They're still there.
So probably, Blethen, do you think we could follow this trail? Not the flowers, but the boots.
I think so. Let me see if I can make that work.
So you have an aspect called heavy booted trail, which will give you a +2 if you wish, and it's a free boost, so you can use that in your roll, so you can add 2 to whatever your result is. And let's see what you get.
Okay. No. Oh God.
Do you have any fate points left?
Yes, I do have a fate.
I'd strongly advise on a 3 to re-roll.
Yeah.
But maybe you get lost, which could be good fun. Yeah, go for a re-roll, see what you get.
Not much better.
It's not great, so that's great.
So is this with a +2? No. So there's a +2.
It's a 9, to be fair.
Yeah,
It is a 9.
yeah.
No, you're right. It's a 9. So the heavy booted trail probably saves you. Your scent gives up on it. I think your scent is confused by the Fey realm that you were in, and the flowers. But instead, you do still manage to follow this heavy booted trail. It does head off to the east, and it actually takes you quite some time. So it takes you almost towards the end of the day, and you're not sure how long you were actually in the forest. It's still cold. The season hasn't changed, at least, so that's something. But after a while, you do come into the sort of scrublands of the east. You can see in a clearing ahead, quite some way away, a palisade of wood. It's been constructed relatively recently, and as far as you can tell, this probably is a small raiders Saxon holding, probably, or at least it's most likely. and the trail seems to head off pretty much to this redoubt that's being constructed.
So, Decius, by your experience, how many would we expect in such a palisade?
What do you
Maybe a
think?
battle test, maybe.
Sure.
See what you think. Given the size, what you know of sort of raiding warbands, yeah, I mean, you'd say probably of this size, you're looking at something like maybe a sizable warband, 40 maybe,
So
something like that.
Yeah.
Probably not taking them down ourselves.
No, I mean there is a. It's dark right now. It's getting dark now, and fires have clearly been lit within the redoubt. So they've got sort of places that they can gather around in this.
I mean, we can sneak in and sneak out. I mean, some of us can, and I look at Blethen.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a dark and cloudy night. There is no moon.
So, Blethen, if we tried, I mean, I'm not sure these are raiders, I suppose. So there's no much use in negotiating with them. But probably you would be able to scout inside their camp and just find out a little bit about where they might keep something like a big blue crystal.
That doesn't work.
We saw a picture of some.
Yeah. Let me just do that again. So you sort of Saxon raiders are going to look a bit like this. Just show this person to you. I can't.
Yeah. Looks very familiar.
Yeah. Yeah. So you've still got 2 guards, 2 soldiers with you who have been clinging to you desperately.
Yes. But I don't want. I mean, those are probably not the stealthy type. So do we want to?
No. I think
fight?
I want to offer. One of
Yeah.
them says, "I want to offer just to go back now, and please, we can let Vasu Abkhaznar know that you've found the Saxons."
Okay, that's a good idea. The both of you get back, but move backwards like this, and I point in a direction like orthogonal to us, so that they would not
Oh, I see.
compromise us and our position.
Oh, I see. All right. Let's all look at each other. It's dark. All right.
Okay.
Well, we'll see what we can do.
Yeah. So you, but do they even know the way? I mean, now they
We do know these lands quite well.
Yeah,
we can
yeah,
probably
okay.
find our way back.
Okay, so that's okay. Because right now I was confused whether they would be stupid or something. I mean,
No, they know these lands well, but unless they sort of, and so they do set out to do that. What should we say that we what should we do? Should we call our forces to you?
Yes, yes, reinforcements and then that's if I mean yeah. And
So
I have given up all hopes for them to be there within the next 2 days. I mean, we know that.
And so they set off
Yeah.
into the gloom, in some haste, almost falling over themselves to get away.
I would just Kaelin, you wouldn't. Are you able to do some kind of glimmer or diversion, maybe, if
Yes.
need
Yes.
is necessary?
Yes, of course. I can create some distraction for you. I can also give you a blessing for those who wish to. Well, depending on what you want to do.
I would. I mean, Decius, you're very stealthy and sneaky yourself, aren't you?
If you like a scoot him to the face, yes.
I mean, I have stealth +2, so I could try to sneak in as well. But I suppose that your stealth.
I've got no stealth.
And Blethen, you have 3 or 4, I suppose.
You're being hopeful here. Blethen. Oh, yeah, you're right, Blethen. You're quite stealthy. You've got a.
Yeah, so I think this is actually not my area of expertise. I think that's Blethen's thing. But if you are in trouble, just let out a wolf cry, howl, whatever, and then we do a diversion.
Well, I can be ready with a diversion, said Kaelin, if you wish. But Blethen, you may need some help to get over the wall.
Yeah, I can do that.
Can you?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, okay. Well, good. Well, good luck then. And so it is over a dark and cloudless night. He said, creating an aspect called Dark and Cloudy Night. Let's open up the. Let's call it. So I'm putting this into the encounter aid sheet. So that's got the scene aspects in it. We've got Dark and Cloudy Night, and I'm going to say that is no, it's not free, but you can call on if you need it. And we've got what else have we got? Well, tell me what you're going to do. There's about, I'd say, a couple of 100 meters to get to this redoubt.
But I think it's
palisade circle.
Yeah. So I think it's dark, or dark enough, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Otherwise, we would wait a little bit longer.
It's dark.
And then I think I would just need to help Blethen climb the wall in a way.
Okay.
I think he might be able to do this himself if he wants to. So
how are you going to help?
I would just say I stand here and give him an extra. I don't know how big Kaznar is, but I think with the use of my hands, I could get him up as high as 2 meters higher than he is normally. I mean, okay. How big are these palisades?
They're high. They're high. So I would say they're probably I suppose 8 or 9 feet in old money.
Yeah, 8 or 9 feet. So 10 feet are 3 meters.
It's about 3 meters.
Yeah,
a bit less.
Yeah. So if I offer you to push you up, and then you have my shoulders to stand on, should be no problem to get over this wall.
Yeah.
I'll sit in the bush with my shield and gladius. Bad thing. Not make any clanking noises near you.
No, well, I think Kaelin will sit with you and not make any clanking noises either.
So, but Blethen, do you? I mean, you could jump as high, I suppose.
Certainly, you could help if you wanted to, Kaznar, and give him a push up as he perhaps maybe uses you as a stepping stone to.
Yeah, something like that. But I was more thinking like in his wolf form, he could easily climb this wall.
You probably could. You think, Blethen?
I mean, do you want to? That's my whole point.
Yeah, I'll try it alone because two easier to fail one roll than one.
Okay. So then.
Well, first of all, everyone can gain a
fate point back.
A fate point back. In fact, you can refresh 2, given that it's 9:30 and we sort of started about 7:30. So refresh 2 fate points, as in up to your maximum. And yeah, it would be okay. So Blethen, you slope off towards this sort of circular palisade. Would you make a stealth test, please, as you head along. You do have the dark and cloudy night to support you. And your difficulty is not very much.
Oh, well, you did it. Come on.
Oh gosh, sorry, I didn't see your roll. Right, now I've seen your roll. That's enough. It's a win. So you get to the palisade. The guards are not, and there are guards. There actually are people supposedly keeping watch, but they're not keeping very good watch. You get to the wall. Let's see if you can get over the wall. Gracious, you're very brave, Blethyn. Make me an agility test, I think. Would it be agility? Is that what you've chosen?
Yeah.
Go for it. Let's see what you get.
A 10.
10's good enough. You get to the top of the wall and you can sort of just pull yourself up so you can look in, and what you see there are several quite hastily constructed wooden buildings. There are 4 of them. 4 of them? 4 of them. And there is smoke coming from each of them, as there are clearly fires inside to keep the cold at bay. And on this sort of palisade wall, you can make out only 2 guards, and they are basically standing by the gate, the sort of gate section of the palisade. You are 90 degrees away from that, so you've pulled yourself up and you can see over there the gate and 2 guards, and then you can look down, and there's not much to see other than these 4 rectangular Gruberhauser or something, I think they're called. I'm not quite sure what the right phrase is. I'll try and find the right phrase. Small wooden constructed buildings.
Is one of them also guarded?
In which case, let's see what you can observe. Make me a notice test, or some sort of probably notice in this case. It's pretty good. Yeah, you can see that there is. Well, it's not so much that it's guarded that you note, but there is one where the light that's coming from the building is very different. It's a bluer light than the other ones. The other ones seem to be firelight, but this has got a like a bluish tinge to it. And your fey-like eyes look down, and you look at it, and you think that's different.
Yeah.
And there is a guard. There is a guard on that particular door into that building.
And maybe a shield over the door or a banner?
No, it's very plain. It's all very plain. There was a banner over the gate, but that's it. It's like it's been hastily constructed. There's still. What do you do? And where is the seed? Have you still got the seed, Kasna?
Yeah, I have them with me. I think in my bag or something like that.
All right. So you can see. So are you up by the wall then?
I'm not by the wall. I was just staying back with the other ones.
Okay.
Because
right.
I'm thinking there might be foul play here, because I would, if I could, so I would expect everyone else to use foul play. So I would stay off with this magic.
Okay.
Because,
Okay, then I'll just try to get inside silently.
Okay. So you can drop down into the actual inside of this small fort. Let's call it a fort. It's not really. And you can move silently. You can hear sounds of voices in each of the buildings. The guards have not noticed you. They're looking out, and there's a guard, as I say, on the door to this building. You do a quick test and look round, and that door seems to be the only straightforward way in.
I'll hunker down on the opposite wall of that hut, because I are those four huts grouped around each other, next to each other, so that the doors all go into like a center of those four?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, then I'll go to the wall opposite of the door.
Yep. That's actually sort of, and that wall is facing out to the palisade wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then before I do that, I change to wolf form, because then I'm a bit smaller and less.
Yeah.
And then I try to hide myself in the shadow between the hut and the ground.
Done.
And I just want to listen if I hear anything from that hut first before I do.
Right. Okay. So you can. You don't need to roll. You can hear in a language you don't know a chanting.
Okay, that is even worse than I thought it could be. Is my assumption correct if they just quickly built these huts, that they didn't bother with a solid foundation or anything? So in theory, I should be able to dig my way in.
Oh, okay, I like that. Yeah, you think you might be able to sort of dig your way in. It's a temporary hut. It's only been recently constructed. You could, if you could, let me see. If you could make me a vigor test to see how well you get into the building. So you're going to find your way in. 9. It's enough to get in, and you get inside the building, and it's just a single. It's not even that big, to be honest. Construction. You can see the door on the other side. At one end of this building, there is it's like a crystal geode, glimmering with blue and mauve light, and in front of it, and I suspect. Well, let's just see. I suspect. Let's see if he is alerted to you, because he's been very much concentrating on what he was doing. He looks to be, you think he's probably a Saxon wizard. But he turns, he clearly does. He turns and wheels round and looks at you. And you see in front of you this figure. Now, you may recognize this figure from some other property. I was in a bit of a hurry, so apologies if you go, oh, it's him. He wheels round and curses you immediately. And could I ask you what your notice skill is, please?
2.
2. And his is 1. In which case, as he turns and curses you, and his runic incantation subsides around him, and in the sparkling light of the crystal geode, you have a moment, and only a moment, to act. What do you do?
Well, I just throw myself with full force at him.
In which case, that's probably the right thing to do. I would let's have a look. I've got him up here. It would be a close combat test, please. He is going to resist, but he is caught. Let me just put him. Can't quite see him. Can't quite get. I haven't cut him right. Never mind. He's there. He is there. Let me just let me see what your close combat is versus his, and don't forget I don't know what your stunts you've got, if anything actually applies. I'll leave that with you.
Yeah, and you're in wolf form. I get you. Maybe you get even a bonus.
Yes,
possibly.
Oh yeah, that's actually a roll with advantage.
Okay, chuck another d6 then and see. 5 and a 1 so far. Oh, nice, like that. Different colour as well. Sweet. Okay, so in fact, that's 13, isn't it, in total?
Yeah.
You get beats his 9. You beat him by 4. So you will do 4 damage. What is your your natural claws? Is it damage of 1 as well?
Where do I find that?
Let's have a look. I think Bleffin, something in his stunts. I think it is about natural weapons plus 2. So you do 6 total damage. You beat him by 4, and you've got 2. So that's 6 health damage. He can't take 6 health damage. He has to spend a consequence, which he spends now. That's 4, which means his health is down 2, which is a spurting blood wound. He's got a spurting blood wound consequence. He cries in pain. He manages to push you off slightly, but he's in trouble, and actually he's now bleeding. You can see sort of a bright spurt of blood from his neck as you sort of attacked him, and he will. Yeah, his body starts to change. He calls something, and there's a sudden spark, aerial spark of blue, ice blue Futhak runes, and his body starts to turn. That's his action. He's starting to turn and transmorph. He also seems to be some sort of skin changer, but he's changing, and he's starting to grow larger, and he's semi-bare. So there's a cry. It's a cry and a spurt, but it's now your action again.
Okay. Well, then I would like to use my rage to just finally subdue him.
Okay, see how you do. It'll need to be close combat.
Like he is. So that is 13 again.
So he's now semi into bear form and is much tougher. He's almost fully transformed into a bear. However, you can also free tag his spurting wound if you like.
Yes.
I would. That's probably the right time to do it. So the free tag gives you a +2, which puts you on 16 versus 13. You beat him by 3. Your weapons give you a +2. You do another 5 points of damage, and he goes down in sort of part wolf form. Your senses pick up that there is a commotion. There is a commotion, and in fact, Kaznar, Decius, and I guess Kylen, you will note that there is some kind of commotion now in the actual within the walls of this palisade.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Now it's time for the diversion.
Exactly.
Okay, so Kylen can call down a storm of the gods, which will create. Well, he says that I can do that,
And I'll run out of the bushes and start shouting commands.
Right.
To my troops.
But then the troops.
Yeah. Who in the tumult will clearly concern them. So let's just see how. Blimey, I'm on form. And could you make me Decius? Could you make me a sort of an impressive sounding? Would it be a command? You've got leadership, which I think is
the line of battle, Ben.
Go on then.
And march up.
Yeah.
Do I have anything that would apply? I don't suppose those really apply. There you go, and roll. Oh, why have I got +9? That doesn't look right.
It's good. It's pretty good. In this game, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah, so I'm a bit puzzled why I have it, but there you go.
No, no
Okay,
worries.
let's try that one again.
Yeah.
Oh, 10.
Okay, 10. All right. So that's going to give a +1 to him, which makes that up to a 14. So the combination of your incisive and well-carried commands in sort of battle lines of the old Romans, as it were, storming winds, means that Blethin, although there is you can hear a tumult outside as if a storm has begun, and you can make out again cries in a language I don't think you really understand. There's lots of you can hear the scrape of metal against shield. You can hear boots. You can hear movement. You can hear the sound of steps going up ladders, probably onto the walls. You think, but just for a moment, in wolf form, with sort of blood spattered across your face, probably you look to the door. It does not open.
Perfect. Is the crystal small enough that I can pick it up with my mouth?
So no, the crystal you're going to have to literally. It's quite large. It's about
You need your acorn, you do.
Yeah. I think we need this seed. We need to eat the seed, but that's something we didn't know before.
Yeah.
But you could carry it. You could carry it, but it's quite heavy, and you're not going to be able to leap over the walls carrying it. You don't think?
Yeah. I would need somebody opening the gates for me.
You would.
But there's one thing I want to do. I want to wrap the crystal in some of the clothing from that.
Yes, you could do a cloak. Perhaps a cloak or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
To make
Done.
it slightly less.
Yeah. It does shimmer. It shimmers. It catches any moment of light, any part of light. It shimmers and collects it and reflects it and refracts it. So yes, you can cover it up. You look it up now. Where are you going?
I want to see because it sounded like they're manning the wall on the side where I came in.
They are.
So I'll try to, on the other side, get out towards the gate.
Okay. So let's just see how well you do. What we have in the scene now is another aspect, and it's called, I'm going to call it the confusing tumult of battle, which is yet to happen. But there is a confusion which you can exploit.
And actually, if you would go out in your wolf form carrying the crystal, would they attack you? Because, I mean, you would also be a wolf.
I can't carry the crystal.
You can.
You can carry it, but
you can't carry it in your mouth.
Ah, okay.
No.
But I'm sorry, I was imagining that you're not a full wolf, but you're like a werewolf, so walking on your hind legs.
I thought I only can do the full wolf form, not the hybrid.
Oh yeah, okay.
That at least
that's how I picture you. But
But I do know Lupus. He was able to do the hybrid.
Yes.
So eventually, I should learn that as well.
Yeah.
If I play long enough.
Yeah. Okay, I see.
But then I think that I use that moment as inspiration, and I just try to figure out how to do that.
Yeah. By the way, that reminds me of a game called Liminal. I don't know why, but
Where's Paul? Where's Paul when we need him? Paul! Um, he'd be very proud of that moment. I'll try and get the moment that you've done this on the recording, and I'll just send him the I'll send him the 5 seconds when we talk about liminal. So, make me a Blethin. Could you make me a willpower test then, just to see if you can will yourself into a semi form? Not something that you've done a lot of, but this is the moment. 8, not quite. Are you going to need to spend a fate point if you've got one?
Yeah, I'm gonna spend.
And I would suggest, let's see what you've got, Blethin, in terms of your aspects. Well, you are cursed or blessed by Kemonos, and perhaps that curse and bless is takes you in a transitional sense between the forms of person and wolf. And so it is you find yourself clutching onto this crystal, which is heavy, but you can carry it now in this form, and you sort of loop off out of the building. There are steps that are heading up to the palisade, and of course there is the front gate.
The front gate only has, because it was so quickly built, only like a large door, right?
It's got a large sort of it's barred basically with a wooden bar, which has been sort of some carpentry's been involved, and it's just a wooden bar. It's just a simple plain wooden bar. It doesn't look that strong. And then there's the steps which would take you up to the palisade wall and over the top.
Yeah, I'll try that, because I think it's easier to just jump over.
In which case, just a last stealth roll from you against a sort of notice in the tumult of battle.
I already gonna spend
You're
the
desperate to do it.
8 point, get me a +2 on this roll.
I've got 4 dice, which means I'm going to definitely win.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of those 2. Go.
Ooh!
Yes, you're going nowhere. Go on, make a roll. Sorry.
The grave dice kicked in again.
Yeah.
At the right moment. 11. So, I mean, if you've got the confusing tumult of battle, I mean, how many fate points have you got left? Poor old Blethin.
I spent my last one to get a +2 on that one. So.
Okay.
So I mean, basically, I think you were noticed, but get away anyhow, or something like that.
You were noticed. You do get to the top. You do get to throw yourself over with the crystal, but I'm going to require you to make an agility test. And let's just see what happens to you. Is that your roll?
Yeah,
That's pretty.
Because in the good old Roman traditions, they had this things in the ground where you.
Look at that.
nah, not Saxons. Nah,
So there are at least
take it for them.
there's a spear that gets thrown at you, and a couple of arrows head in your direction, but they thud onto the floor as your big looping strides take you across the clearing between the palisade into what appears to be some sort of raging, broiling storm, which is clattering around, swirling around the palisade. In fact, probably what happened was those arrows just got caught in the raging storm. In fact, we should have raging storm of the old gods, we called it. So that probably took those arrows away, and you find yourself back with your friends, with carrying, remarkably, how did that happen? The crystal.
So let's head back very, very quickly. You're amazing.
Stun sweet.
So you really trust that? Okay, I mean, I can do. Okay, so I would take this seat then, hopefully it will not transform me into a tree.
Kylan says, I'll just leave that storm there.
You eat seeds all the time.
Yes, but not ones given to you by a scary lady in the forest.
Yeah. I think random seeds are okay, but this is less random.
So what are you going to do?
Yeah, I think I'll eat it because Blethen said I should, and I always do all the stupid ideas he gives to me.
Okay, you eat the seed, and Blethin, the shrine that you're carrying, it suddenly feels incredibly light. It's as if it has no weight at all. It's almost ethereal. You can just hold it, and it has no weight at all. And suddenly all that weight is taken from you.
But we're
Which
still...
makes your journey much easier.
Okay. Well, then...
So where are you going exactly? You can retrace the steps that you've only recently taken. It's earlier. It's almost heading up towards, I'm going to say it's the early hours.
Yeah.
1 or 2 in the morning.
We want to go back as quickly as we possibly can.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get back to the clearing. You certainly get back to there, and what are you going to do? Are you going, because you can either go into the clearing or you can follow the trail which you followed before back to the Roman watchtower.
I think we would go to the Roman watchtower.
Didn't you say we should bring the crystal back to the shrine?
I think she always talked about the crystal as the shrine. I would give it back to her, because if we put it just where we got it, then the Saxons will come and take it again. So
You know what those Saxons are like.
Yeah, I would say we give it to her and say, well, we need a couple of days more time to get rid of the Saxons, and then this stone is safe. But before that...
But that would be an additional service.
Who knows? Who knows? Probably she will enslave me to sing for her for all eternity. We don't know. Just go on.
Kylan's very keen that that we return it to the shrine, as Blethin has suggested. But he says, to be honest, we're in the realm of the Fae now. I don't know. I don't know what's better. Is it better to give it to her or to put it back where it...
So Kylan, you think we should put it back?
I think Sulis would want it there.
Yeah. Okay. Then I'll go with you, and you will guard it here until we come back.
Very good. I will do that. But Blethin, as the one who's carried it, I think you should be the one that places it back in its place in that wooden branch in the midst of those stones.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say a prayer to Sulis and ask for her blessing when you do it. So you take the stone up, which it's very, very light still. And you find that the claw-like branch that sort of is literally just buried in the middle of this stone circle does seem to be perfectly sized for you to place the crystal in amongst it, just shouldered into it. And you can hear sort of a Brythonic sort of summoning of Sulis to protect you as you do this. Could you make me a willpower test as you're placing the shrine very carefully in that wooden... 10. Okay. You get a sense that the goddess Sulis is in fact blessing you as you place the shrine upon the place where it should be. The shrine sparkles in what is now clear starlight. It captures the starlight even so far away and suffuses you in its light. You effectively now have Blessing of Sulis as an aspect, which will be something that you could spend possibly in a moment, but certainly in the future, and it stays with you. Blessing of Sulis. And that typically is a blessing of healing. As you place the shrine, the flowers that circulate around this mound spring to life. And then you are guided, because the Fey Knights return back to, well, the Roman watchtower has gone. And what you find is a big, long wood house, a longhouse style building, really impressive, made of dark oak. And you're brought in once again to the presence of the Fey Queen. You have returned, and I sense you have returned and brought with you the Shrine of Sulis. We are whole and healing again. But there still yet may be dangers with those raiders. We have to see what we can do about those. But our bargain was not for you to deal with those who took the shrine, but to return it, and you have. And so it is. I must honor the agreement that we have made. But first, let us hear you sing again, Kasna.
So I would say I will sing the praise of Blessing who retrieved this.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, she says, and you can see eyes turning to Blethyn as this is sung.
And I would say I would spend a fate point to
embellish that performance.
Yeah, to invoke this because I can use action and style, and this is not my style.
Oh, you can. It sounds fantastic. Spend that fate point and see how you do.
Yeah, that is much better. Yeah.
Poor Blethyn's exhausted. Right, it goes down very well again. And she says, well, Blethyn, you are all the more welcome here. Whenever you need healing, I sense Sulis has already blessed you. But you are welcome in this place at any point. And Roman, less Roman for you this time, and perhaps more of the lords of today. This place, it's still incredible place. It's probably a little bit TARDIS-like. It's probably a bit bigger on the inside than the outside, but it's really impressive. And she says, "But I shall honour our agreement. Bring the children," she says with a smile. And after a while, there's a bit of a hubbub behind, and you can see one of the Fey Knights bringing in 6 white goats. "Here are your children," she says. And our thanks to you for this agreement. You have done well. We shall not forget you, Kasnar of the great song, or you, Roman, with your strong ways, and certainly not you, Blethyn, of the Fey blood, or indeed you, Kylin, of the old gods. Sulis will be very pleased with you.
Yeah. So, but just imagine we want them transformed into their old form again, like when they were children.
Oh, yes, of course, she says. Of course. I can imagine that. I can imagine everything. I'm a very imaginative person.
Yeah. So if we got rid of the danger of those Saxons coming here again, then probably you could convert them back. I mean, just to
Oh, that's a different bargain. Are you
Yes,
wanting to make a new bargain?
obviously that's why I'm bargaining.
Oh, I see. Um, yes, that's that. Yes, she smiles broadly and says, it's a bargain that we can of course do. Take the children, and deal with the Saxons.
And then you revert them to their living selves as they were when they were abducted.
Do you question my word?
No, I will not question your word. I was just clarifying the terms of our bargain.
Of course I will. Of course. Now run along and take your children with you.
So just in case, did I get her wrong? And these are not really the children, or
No,
are
she
these-
thinks these are the children. She seems to think so. She's smiling away. Take them away. That was the bargain. But of course they will. Yes, of course. Deal with the Saxons too. It's a new bargain. I like it. Show them out of the forest. They have promised to deal with the Saxons.
Okay.
And you are escorted out through the clearing, following the flower trail, out of the forest. And before you can see ahead of you the villa, so you know that you're nearby. And as you leave the forest, the goats become the children again. It's just a glamour. But you have promised to deal with the Saxons.
Yes, obviously. I mean, I did want to do this anyway, so.
And so that's where we'll leave it. You have returned the children. The villagers are grateful, actually grateful. The Saxons are still out there and need to be properly dealt with, but that would be something for another time. And the Fey Queen has been entertained by you, and certainly will not forget you. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. Sulis is also watching you. Matcha hasn't appeared yet, but Matcha, you can be assured, and Kaelin would assure you, Matcha is not far. The wolves are not far. But they've been watching and not intervening. But for now, and I think for this particular story, we can bring this story to a close. So, thank you very much for playing.
No,
Thank you.
And we will the Thursday night shenanigans will continue in a fortnight's time. And with that, I'm going to just say to those people who are watching, thank you for watching. You've been watching Age of Arthur, and you've been watching the Thursday nighters doing their thing. So thank you very much.